Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to IQ Illuminating Quran. My name is Sahar Rizk. I hope everyone is doing well. FYI, this is a second recording because the first video I forgot two verses 23 and 24. So here we go. So we'll continue verses 21 to 29. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس اعبدوا ربكم الذي خلقكم والذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. O mankind, worship your Lord who created you and those before you that you may become righteous. Asharawi says, worship your Lord who created you and those before you until Adam, who created him out of nothing, that you may be guarded against all evil, not just hellfire. الذين جعل لكم الذي جعل لكم الأرض فراشا والسماء بناء وأنزل من السماء ماء فأخرج به من الثمرات رزقا لكم. He who made for you the earth a bed and the sky a ceiling, and sent down from the sky rain and brought forth thereby fruit as provision for you. So you don't attribute to Allah equals while you know. Sharawi says, means we depend on God for spiritual. The sky, it's strong. You know it's not going to fall on us. It's secure, so there's no fear. And the earth is convenient, comfortable. So don't equate anyone or idols with God. However, it might be easier with idols because they don't tell you what to do, do's and don'ts. They don't require anything from you. Inside, they know, because when they're sick, they ask for God's help. They know the real God is. They just don't want to follow any obligation or requirement or laws. وإن كنتم في ريب مما نزلنا على عبدنا فأتوا بسورة من مثله وادعوا شهداءكم من دون الله إن كنتم صادقين. And if you are in doubt about what we have sent down upon our servant Muhammad, then produce a surah like it or like thereof and call upon your witness other than Allah if you should be truthful. God is challenging them. He's saying if you doubt that we brought this Quran or surahs on the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, come up with something similar to it, not as perfect, min mithlihi, something similar, and bring witnesses and see if they recognize it as the Quran. فإن لن تفعلوا ولا فإن لم تفعلوا ولن تفعلوا فاتقوا النار التي وقودها الناس والحجارة أعدت للكافرين. But if you don't, and you will never be able to, then fear the fire whose fuel is man and stone. Stones are the idols they worshipped, prepared for the disbelievers. وبشر الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أن لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار. And give good tidings to those who believe and do righteous deeds, that they will have gardens in paradise beneath which river flow. كلما رزقوا منها من ثمرة رزقا قالوا هذا الذي رزقنا من قبل وأوتوا به متشابها ولهم فيها أزواج مطهرة وهم فيها خالدون. Whenever they are provided with a provision of fruit therefrom, they will say, "This is what we were provided with before," and it is given to them in likeness, and they will have therein purified spouses, and they will abide therein eternally. Eternally. Okay, for believers, there will be heavens with river flowing beneath them, and the fruits they are provided with, they think is the same. It might look similar, so it triggers some of their memory, but when they actually try it out, it surpasses all their expectation. And spouses will be purified of all that used to bother you in this lifetime. God wanted us not to worry about losing any of this blessing. In heaven, once you're in heaven, you stay there for eternity. You won't leave it, and it will never run out. Now, I have a little reflection. One of the videos that Sharawi, I just thought about women. When they get purified spouses, because the Sharawi only mentioned you will get your wife without any nagging and her period. I don't think there is period in heaven. That was only on earth, but it's not necessary in heaven. They won't need it up there, but he said that. So he also said that someone voiced his concern about women, and he said that the women are held in higher value or honor that they don't have multiple spouses. And he also said men can marry because he said diseases come from men, not from women. So if a woman has many men, then she get diseases. And when a man marries multiple wives, it's different than when a woman has multiple men. So he also mentioned when a woman her husband passes away, she remarries. That's on her, but it's not something shameful. When a woman remarries, that's a blessing from God. It's a protection. It's an honor. So I don't understand his point, but I mean I don't disagree with any of this. I'm just saying, how is he? When is he addressing the purifying of the husband? Okay, so the surah said spouses. It didn't say wife. It didn't say as. It says azwajun mutahhara. It says spouses, but he took it as the nagging woman. But it should be nagging spouse. God will purify that because they're going to be companion for eternity, and God will purify them for them, so they're actually good and wonderful companion. So that's my only thing. It's a spouse. So when a man speaks, I guess he overlooks the woman's side of the story. So that's all my reflection. That's it. Just didn't settle well with me because it says spouse. God said spouse. He didn't say wife. إن الله لا يستحي أن يضرب مثلا ما بعوضة فما فوقها فأما الذين آمنوا فيعلمون أنه الحق من ربهم وأما الذين كفروا فيقولون ماذا أراد الله بهذا مثلا يضل به كثيرا ويهدي به كثيرا وما يضل به إلا الفاسقين. Indeed, Allah is not timid to present an example that of a mosquito, or what is smaller than it, or what is smaller than it. And those who have believed know that it is the truth from their Lord. But as for those who disbelieve, they say, what did Allah intend by this example? He misleads many thereby and guides many thereby. And he misleads not except defiantly disobedient. Okay. There's some of the surahs they had God give examples of ants and spider. There's a whole surah about them. And the Sharawi said the surah came down because non-believers were mocking the Prophet ﷺ for giving example of ants and spiders in the ayah. God is saying he's not ashamed of examples with mosquitoes or smaller than it. It only shows us complexity of and the sophistication of God's creation. In such a tiny creature, it has the same system as we do, but it exceeded our system with sensory and reproductive system in tiny creature. Yusuf Ali said, gnat or weakest stumbling creatures that could include spider and mosquitoes in comparison to a hypocrite who often stumble off the right path, rejecting God's message. Oh, okay. So this tiny creature, they stumble in the wind, very very tiny, and that's similar to the non-believers who reject the path. They're closing their eyes of Allah's obvious signs that is meant to save us. Stumbling is not caused by force of nature, but by their own choice, causing division and breaking God's covenant. Among mankind, it was meant to maintain brotherhood. They're just causing way too much corruption. Covenant was the binding agreement between God and children of Israel. الذين ينقضون عهد الله من بعد ميثاقه ويقطعون ما أمر الله به أن يوصل ويفسدون في الأرض أولئك هم الخاسرون. Who break the covenant of Allah after contracting it and sever that which Allah has ordered to be joined and cause corruption on earth. It is those who are the losers. So 3 things. The al-khasirun, the losers, are the ones who break their covenants, sever the relationship that God says to keep, and their corruption on earth. How do we break a covenant of Allah? He tells you pray and you don't. He tells you don't drink and you do. So you do what he tells you not to do and you don't do what he tells you to do. So doing what he told you not to and not doing what he tells you to do. Now severing what God ordered us to join, like our relationship with our family. Now, if they did it, if they cut off relation with you, it's on them, because God will cut off his relation and blessings with them. Then that's on them. But on your end, you should keep the relationship. But if they cut it off, don't run after them and begging for them to keep the relation. It's on them. Yusuf Ali, corruption is not major crime. Doing your job well for your sake not for the sake of your employer. I'm sorry. Um, I think Sharawi said that. I'm not sure. Um, keeps the faith in the community. Every time you see a job well done, you say Allah. But if you see mediocre job, you will say no, no decency in the world, and you lose faith. Yeah, that's definitely the Sharawi said that. I'm sorry. Um, they lose on the reward given to the righteous in the hereafter. So the losers, they lose on the rewards at the end. كيف تكفرون بالله وكنتم أمواتا فأحياكم ثم يميتكم ثم يحييكم ثم إليه ترجعون. How can you disbelieve in Allah when you were lifeless, nothing but clay, and He brought you to life? Then He will cause you to die, then He will bring you back to life, and and to Him you will be returned. All the things that God created for us, for our use, from our birth to death, will outlast us and will still be available for the next generation, knowing God's generosity and that He gave us life and will eventually take it away. We should show gratitude for and follow His guidance, doing what He told us to do and stay away from what He tells us to avoid. هو الذي خلق لكم ما في الأرض جميعا ثم استوى إلى السماء فسواهن 7 سماوات وهو بكل شيء عليم. It is He who created for you all of that which is on earth. Then He directed His attention to the heavens, His being above all creation, and made them 7 heavens, and He is knowing of all things. We talked before about looking in nature for signs of God, His creations, His cycles, and believing in His authority, but not exactly how it was created, because God said there were no witnesses. So we just have to notice the creation, but not necessarily how it was done. Then I created you, the earth and the sky. So He created the earth, the sky, and us. He's the only one who can tell us how in His book, not from people meant to bombard us with their so-called theories, ideas of how things were created. That is knowledge that does not benefit anyone. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Until next time, take good care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.